AEW Fight Forever is right around the corner, and today I want to go through some of the top things that are exciting about AEW Fight Forever. So AEW Fight Forever is going to be on everything. You're going to be able to get it on Nintendo Switch, which is the cool, because it's been a hot minute since we've had a wrestling game on Switch. You're also going to get it on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, all the Xboxes, the One, the 1S, the X, the other S, the X gonna give it to you. And then you can also get it on PC, which I am very excited about. We'll talk about that in just a second. You're gonna be able to get AEW Fight Forever for $59.99 if you live in the US, and then check your local distributors and your local stores for what the price is for you. You can also be able to get it downloaded digitally and buy it that way. I might end up doing myself. I haven't decided yet. I'm also a little bit curious about getting it on Switch. I can't decide what I want to do. Just be able to do the handheld thing. That'd be a lot of fun. But AEW Fight Forever for me is a real throwback. It's done with the AKI engine, and I grew up with this. With WCW versus NWO World Tour, with WCW NWO Revenge, with No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000. Those were the games that I cherished and I grew up on and played endlessly. And they didn't have every feature in the world. Although one feature that I want this game to have that I don't think it does is going to be create a pay-per-view, but I digress. It didn't have every single bell and whistle out there. It wasn't a simulation game. It was an arcade style game that you're going to have either single matches, tag teams, triple threats, fatal four-ways, but you were having endless hours of fun. And that is my hope with AEW Fight Forever, is we are going to get this game in our hands and it's going to do something for that kick of nostalgia, but also, well, be able to have some fun with the AEW roster. But an exciting thing outside of the nostalgia factor is going to be some of the match types. Now we know we are going to get the basics. You're going to get your one-on-one match. You're going to be able to get your tag teams, triple threats, fatal four-ways, ladder matches in there, but you're getting unique ones as well. You're going to be getting the exploding barbed wire death match. You get a lights out match. Casino Battle Royale is in there too. These are different. These are unique. Yeah, they are variations on the hardcore match. We really need to see them in action, but I feel like these unique match types, along with the traditional ones, and maybe there's some options in there, literally in the options menu, where we could modify some of the match types, where we could make your one-on-one match a first blood match or an I quit match. Maybe there is more in there, and we'll wait and see once the previews and then the game officially comes out to see what it will have in there. But for right now, those other match types are what differentiate it for me from match types than that of like 2K23. Being able to go in and have a lights out match or the Casino Battle Royale is going to be just a lot of fun. Yeah, we got rumbles everywhere. We got battle royals across the wazoo in 2K23, but I like to see what Yuke's is able to do with the engine and putting their flair and their spin on it. Okay, the other thing that has me excited, and we are not getting this to this degree with like 2K, I'm talking Blood and Violence. This is a very arcadey game, and I am very excited for it because I think the violence is taken up a notch. This has been a bone of contention with everything that has been reported about this game in its previews and leading up to it. Kenny Omega has spoken about it with the ESRB rating, saying that they had to push it back because they couldn't get the right rating. And that was based on the level of violence that they had in the game, particularly the blood. We have the intergender matches in there too, which could be a bone of contention when it comes to getting the proper rating that they want. But specifically dealing with the blood and violence, they had to dial it back a little bit, but not as much as I think we guessed. AEW Games tweeted out just the other day that, quote, "We've heard that many of you were worried that the blood was removed from AEW Fight Forever. We'll let these new screenshots speak for themselves." And we have two new screenshots that are basically covered in blood. So we're looking at Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy one-on-one, and there is just blood splattered everywhere. There's blood all over Jericho and Cassidy. It looks fantastic. I love that the splatter is all over the ring. It's what we don't get with a 2K game. Yeah, it's gonna be more cartoony and it's arcadey, but that's okay. It's something different and unique. You're also getting down there in the corner of the same screenshot, you got an extra little shovel there for yourselves, which is kind of an added bonus. But sticking with the violence, they also put in another screenshot here, and this one, again, same idea. You have a tremendous amount of blood in the ring, and this is a women's match as well. So we're getting that level of violence, and if that is your thing, then you're probably going to be happy with at least this aspect of the game. If it's not your thing, that's cool too. I'm sure you're going to be able to go in and just turn that setting off and turn the blood off, so you can have something that's a little bit more family friendly in that regard for your wrestling arcade game. But if you do want to up the violence in this thing, this is going to be a big win for AEW, for Fight Forever, and for fans fans that I think, based on the feedback I get in the community, people are always like, I wish they would increase the blood. I wish they would make it have blood splatter all over the mat, that it was dripping in different ways. People are always looking for that. And I think Fight Forever is going to deliver on that promise based on this. This is a lot, but I kind of dig it. Now, I spoke on this briefly just like a second ago, but intergender matches. Something we don't get with 2K23, and we are going to get it in this game. I can have Adam Cole, Bebe, going in an intergender match if he really wants to against Britt Baker, but we can do a lot of different matches here. It makes it more fun. It changes it up. And again, it's something that a lot of fans, a lot of wrestling fans for video games have been clamoring for quite some time, be able to have that in the game, and now they do. And I think it's something that not everyone is going to be interested in playing all the time in terms of a match type, but it is going to be there for a specific core audience that want to be able to pull off some really fun matches. So another thing that has me excited for this game is the fact that, well, sometimes simple is better. Not having a complex simulation game where you're trying to figure out different move sets, combos, all these different things, all the many controls you have to do, and even with different modes, general managers, universe modes, things like that in 2K23 that sometimes don't work, that are buggy, that can really hinder the experience for players. Shifting all the way to the other side, you have something very, very simple, straightforward, stripped down, no nonsense, arcade style game for wrestling fans. And I think sometimes that is better. Not having a deep simulation experience, sometimes people are just not interested in that. Sometimes people want to be able to just pick up and play and have a couple of matches and move on with their day and not feel like they're going to have a 25-minute match. They can do that in this game if they want to have those crazy matches, but it's going to be about having fun, pick up and play and go. And I like that, and being able to pull off fun moves, and it just looks silly sometimes, or grabbing weapons from the outside and having just blood everywhere, like it's just obscene. But being able to do that, sometimes I think simple is a little bit better. And that's where I also think that it's an alternative. People will ask me in the comments, and I do see this a lot right now with the game coming out, is do you think Fight Forever will be better than 2K23 or vice versa? Which one do you think is going to be better? I think they're just going to be different. It's an alternative to 2K23, and that's okay. And that's going to please a huge segment of fans that are clamoring for something like that are not wanting a simulation experience. I don't think one is going to be better than the other. I think they're different. That's what I like, though, is that the fact that I'm getting another wrestling game this year. Also more stuff to play online. Let's go. Okay, another thing that I do like that is going to be hopefully a big component as this thing goes on. AEW Fight Forever is titled Fight Forever because they're making this one game, and they want to build off of this one game with the engine and then add to it. So we're not going to get an annualized release for this game, which I actually like because I prefer developers being able to take more time off to be able to make a better game later on, and I can handle what I have today. But they're treating Fight Forever like a platform, almost like a live service too. And their intention, their plan, according to AEW Games, is that they want to be able to add in more content as time goes by, to be able to add in DLC for new superstars, tag teams, hopefully more arenas. The potential is also for more match types. That's what has me very curious about long term with the game, is not only getting a bigger roster, which we all expect to see over the next 12 months, 24, 36 months with this game, but also the potential for them to patch in a new match type. We don't have something as simple as a cage match in the game when it launches, but that could be something that they patch in later. And this game, while it's sitting around almost 20 gigs in size, which is very, very small, it has the potential to be much bigger by the time it's pretty old, where we're dealing with 2-3 years old, and it's got way more value for players and for people that might just be jumping in for the first time that never picked it up. So I think getting it early, we get to experience what might be a small roster, but there is a lot of potential for down the road if they do this right. And if they do build off of this like they intend to, you could see a huge roster over time of legends, of new AEW stars that are simply just not in the base game. For example, I don't think the Acclaimed are going to be in the base game, which is a real bummer. But we did get other superstars in there, where we got Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson, but we're not getting them. So we're not getting FTR. So there's some odd choices. Some of them might just be left out because they're going to be future DLC plans. But I am excited to know what they have in store, and if they can include things like match types, new weapons, arenas, and the superstars to download, and they do a different model I think a lot of fans are tired of the 2K model of standard DLC packs, and maybe AEW can do something a little different. Maybe that's a little bit more of a modern approach to getting additional content in the game. Now, I mentioned the roster. The roster is interesting. As far as we know, it's around 50 stars that are 50 wrestlers that are going to be in here. But we're getting this really kind of cool hybrid of stars, where you're getting the likes of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, you're getting Bryan Danielson, you're getting Adam Cole, you're getting a decent women's roster as well to start things off. But you're getting legends like Sting. I think there's rumors of Jake the Snake Roberts is going to be in the game too, along with Owen Hart. Was rumored, if not confirmed previously, he was going to be in this game too. So I think that over time, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Cody Rhodes is in the game as well, with Cody and CM Punk and a mishmash of characters that are going to be in this thing. And I love it because they're not taking out other characters and ones that have already been built and put into the game. And we can see that over time develop and grow into a massive roster, maybe even with more crossover appeal. We're getting stars from like New Japan. What if over time we were able to get Mercedes Moné with a New Japan pack or something like that? There's a lot of potential when it comes to the roster. Is it small to start off with? Yes, that's what she said. It's got the potential to grow over time. Again, that's what she said. So I think that there is some optimism there. While I think it's a bit of a negative for the game to have a roster size of approximately 50 superstars, 50 wrestlers in there, I think that we could get something pretty good down the road. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about today are some of the additional features that we're getting that are pretty exciting. Career mode, create an arena. Now the creation suite is not going to be vast. It's not going to be in depth. It's not going to be like 2K and as deep and, well, sometimes as problematic as that is. It's going to be stripped down. It's going to be simple. We don't know anything about create an arena, but if they give us a couple of sets, Trons, we can create modern day AEW Dynamite, Rampage, Future Collision. If we can create those templates in the game, I'm good. I love that. The other thing is dealing with career mode. You have Road to Elite, and you're going to be able to use in-game cash, unlock t-shirts, the achievement list is there. You can replay career mode a lot of times, which tells me it's going to be a short experience, but that's not a bad thing. It's allowing you to go in with different characters and being able to replay it to try to unlock different stuff, get different story elements, just try to finish the whole thing off. So maybe it's going to be short and sweet from a career standpoint, but you're going to be able to replay that quite a bit, and that's pretty cool. And the creation side, again, I hope that Create an Arena has some cool elements. If it's going to be straightforward, stripped down, that's okay. And Create a Superstar too, probably going to be very, very simple, but we just changed some attires. You can download stuff. Maybe they release future DLC with more content for the creation suite. That would be a big win. So there's a lot to be excited for when it comes to AEW Fight Forever. Let me know in the comments below, what are you excited to do in Fight Forever when it comes out in a couple of weeks at this point? Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and there's more content right here for Fight Forever. See ya.